Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Anjas Anggita and my study number is 22014 And today I will tell you all about general statement and description statement about job interview. And for general statement is this video is talk about job interview between a woman who is interviewer Kate Johnson and a man who is interviewee Chris. And for description statement is Kate Johnson greeting each other, and Kate asks to Chris about Chris' education, and Chris answer with Chris finishing Chris' Master of Education program at Lake Erie College and working on transitioning from northeastern Ohio into being a member of the Jacksonville area community. And Kate asks again to Chris why the move well. And Chris answered with Chris' wife's job is moving down south and Chris coming along with her. It's very noble and Chris admire about Kate at same time and Kate asks again how Chris hear about the position open with RII company. And Chris answered with when Chris thought about the opportunity of changing location and moving from one physical location to another, Chris thought about making a career move as well, and Chris was starting with Chris' main interest in passion, and Chris loved being outside, Chris loved doing outdoor activity, and Chris loved working with people. And Crystal, if Chris could use Chris' experience as a teacher, helping people, and Chris' interest in the outdoors together, that would be a good place to start a new career. And when Chris was looking online, Chris found a race website and that there were positions available in the Jacksonville area. So Chris thought Chris would apply. And Kat answered with, well, well, Chris say Chris have an interest in outdoor activities, so this would be a great a company for you to work at that paying site. And Kate asks again, what else do Chris know about our company, RIA company? And Chris answered with, well, you've been around for a long time since the late one 1930s and really caught Chris' attention the most was the idea that it was started by people who had passion for the outdoors and found a way involve other in their experience. And Chris also have idea to RIA company is because he want join RIA companies because RIA company is consistently ranked among the top 100 companies to work for by Fortune magazine, and Crystal growing with a company that has that level of would be a good place to be success to be. And Kate asks again why Chris want this particular position here within our customer service department. And Chris answer with because Chris want to start in a position that allow Chris to learn everything about the company from the very basic level of interacting with the customer all the way up throughout the process, the marketing process, and the production of good and service. Crystal of the line very well with a skill set that Chris have and also with some skills that Chris could bring to the company that might be Chris can and Kat asks again about little bit more about Chris, especially Chris skill and Chris answer with education is all about making the customer or student feel comfortable and helping them grow. Chris feel that within a company like RIE is the same philosophy getting a customer comfortable with the product and helping them grow as they advance in whatever sport that they happen to be participating in the way. And, and Kate asks again, why Chris think that RIA company should hire you as hire Chris specifically among our RIA pool of candidates that are interviewing for this position. And Chris Chris have background in education teacher are among the highest stressed professional in the workplace and RIA offer a number of products that help elevate stress by getting people outdoor and teachers also have a lot of downtime in the summer. Chris thinking is that once Chris learn the ropes and advance within the company, Chris be able to market the service and products that RIA offers specifically to the teaching profession. And Kate asks again to Chris, when Chris finishing a master degree in education, if a position become available in your current field down here in Bing Jacksonville area, how Chris approach being offered this job versus being offered a position in Chris field and Kate asking that in the now and the future. And Chris say, that's a great question. Chris not pursuing further education opportunity within the profession. Chris feel like this customer service opportunity the chance to work in a field that Chris enjoy as much as teaching is a place that Chris could grow into long term. O- And Chris wanted to be a translator and Kate asks again about Chris what what is greatest strength from Chris? And Chris as the Chris' greatest professional strength is passion. Chris' passion is probability Chris' greatest strength that translate across the career. Being able to listen to a student or customer difficulty and help them overcome that difficulty with passion and compassion. Chris' greatest strength that is Chris' greatest strength. And Kate asks again about Chris' weakness, and Chris answer with the Chris' weaknesses is there is a risk when it comes to compassion. Chris thinks people can misinterpret compassion as being easy or willing to roll over when it's important to understand that compassion is something that is earned and it's interactive. And Chris feel like if Chris establish clear boundaries with customer clients doesn't they understand that Chris understanding, Chris patient, Chris kind yet Chris also going to hold the people Chris interact with to high standard to that what whoa and Cat asks again about What is Chris' greatest professional achievement? Personality, becoming a teacher, earning a master's degree. And Chris answer with Chris' greatest achievement is working with young people and helping them get a little bit better at communicating with the world around them. And Kate asking again about what Chris' challenge or conflict. Chris, uh, Chris answer with every challenge, every day. Chris dealing with hundred of different personality and interest and level of enthusiasm. So being able to engage students with content in an enriching way is part of overcoming a conflict or difficulty. Creating building professional relationship is another way to deal with conflict, understanding where people come from prior to teaching. Chris was involved with a photography company photographing event like wedding and bar mitzvahs and very important event in people's life, and a lot of times conflict will arise. So again, just like in teaching, overcoming those conflict with patience and listening to the client or customer need is very important. And and Kate asks how Chris approaches potential challenge at the workplace, and Chris thinks the important thing is to the people around Chris, and Chris thinks he have a friendly demeanor, and Chris not confrontational when meeting the new people. Chris also scheduled to interview with Bass Pro Shop. They have similar mission and goals to RIA. She Chris said that because Kate asking about Chris have another interview or not, and Chris doesn't expect to be a sitting in cubicle interact with customer unless Chris handling a phone call. Chris expected to be up moving around and being consistently engaged with a customer or trying to find ways to improve what we offer to customer. And then Kat asked some cognitive behavioral question. If Chris an animal, what Chris want to be and why? And Chris want to be a dog, domestic dog, because dog is loyal and provide many benefits. Kate also asked cognitive behavior question again about tennis ball and limousine, and Chris answered with great answer. And Kate final question is Kate asked to Chris if Chris have any question for RIA company, just asking. And Chris asked about Kate's perspective best part about working for RIA company, and Kate answered with the atmosphere of working for RIA is very welcoming, and that's all. And the job interview is end. Conversation job interview is end, and this video going to end. And thank you for listening.